everyone. It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies here. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Morayo.
Nima in the building.
Yo, yo, yo.
You and Bajilud in orange.
Yes, we're twinning today.
What's up? How was your weekend?
What's today's date? Today is the 18th of September.
Okay.
And my champion is 2 years old.
Oh, right. Praise God.
Any day I look at that boy,
You got
I remember
Miracle.
my place. Yeah, good. I always remember that he showed me his mighty power. And I must say my thank yous to everybody, especially Iyala Olu that has adopted him. This morning she remembered and prayed and everything. She's even turning amala for you to celebrate. Thank you, my Shema.
That's fantastic. Praise God.
So, and every other person and nurse, everybody
We're
who has
all part of
decided
this
to
pregnancy
adopt him.
because you a whole 6 months.
No, you were
Let her
before.
just finish. Let her finish.
Before.
I'm
But
just
going
waiting to
come
hear
here.
our name.
So, to the people that were before, starting from Dr. Mercy Aloha, all the MCC doctors, to my Your View co-host. You know, the Facebook was reminding me of all your posts this morning. So I saw Uwa, I saw everybody.
Guess
You people
what?
crashed.
I
on
wore
day
the
of
dress I wore today.
In fact, I thank God. I'm just grateful.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Well, on Thursday, I was supposed to give a shout out to a very, 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 very close friend, a new friend, whose marriage was 10 years, Ferdinand Tunumbu. Sorry that I couldn't do that shout out. It was a crazy day on Thursday.
Please
but I wish
explain.
you 10 or 100 years together with your wife. His wedding.
Please, I need the explanation of very, very, very close friend. A
A
new
new
friend.
In fact, we will need to start
These
finding.
friends-
We need new guidelines
these
to these our
friends
shout-outs.
that you
Because
can-
it's not birthday and which one is anniversary
Right,
again?
you
new
know that's
friend,
all
old
I do
friend.
here. You know me, I don't go for dinner. I don't have party to gist you about.
Okay, all right.
So
no
if I'm not talking
Okay.
about my women, GO, my legal,
I'm talking about
it's
your friends.
shout-outs.
Okay, how are you doing, Jumoke?
Jumoke is amazing. I'm very grateful to God. I have a private meeting at 11 a.m. today. So for those people who do not go out, let us just tell you that some of us, we go out and we enjoy it.
Yeah,
And you do meet dinner? Is it a restaurant?
Today is
So the
just
time
a-
you're dining every week, back to back.
Honestly, enjoying my
Just
life.
making
money.
I'm still doing dinners, but I'm doing it privately. I met with Chike Kegu yesterday for lunch, you know. We're going into South Africa and, you know, there's so many business opportunities.
Oh,
just
fantastic.
introducing, you know, the opportunities to...
So, Jumoke, don't we are moving to South
Remember
Africa.
me,
oh.
Hi,
I'm going to South Africa. I may not be moving.
Remember that.
Please, all right, you can't be doing your people from South Africa.
This is Your View, live
Your
from
fans
Johannesburg.
your fans just South Africa. Okay. How are you doing,
I'm
Obiajilu?
doing great. I'm doing great. I had a very restful weekend. You know, I started this, I made this food timetable for the children, and they've been holding me accountable to every word. Is that, Mommy, you said chicken and chips. There's no chicken. I said, we can use eggs. No, but
think it's
you didn't
terrible.
write eggs. So we want that chicken.
Better
So
than
this
provide
Saturday, I decided to make this garden egg sauce.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for the first time in the house for them, and they loved it. I had a lot of dry fish, crayfish, you know,
Yeah,
just to
very
make
creative.
it very creative. They loved it, they
Fantastic.
enjoyed it, and
Nice.
I was just making noise about the whole thing.
That's nice.
How
I'm
you
good. I'm good.
doing?
I'm thinking of going to Lagos to bulk shop because I hear it's cheaper. I mean, of course, we know it's cheaper, but sometimes
for what?
people just for provisions because now that school has started, you know, biscuits, drinks, and all those kind of things, just need to buy. Because honestly, because I have a budget, I don't go beyond my budget, but I realize that I'm trying to cut costs now because of situations.
From not going beyond your budget to cutting cost again.
No. I had a budget, right?
No, so with her budget, she will get more things by
Okay,
going to
okay,
Lagos.
Lagos.
to buy in
So
bulk.
somebody was telling me about going to Lagos yesterday, and I was thinking, that's a good
You are
idea.
ready, Sha.
I'm ready. You.
You wear sneakers, you wear
I'll buy something
trousers.
almost for like 6 months, at least.
Yes,
You know,
no.
buy like a box of.
You don't have rats?
Maria,
You
let
don't
me
have
just
rats in your
explain
house?
to you. I've heard this in economics said that the rich get richer because they buy in bulk. So you are buying, by the time you see the unit price of everything you're bought in bulk, the poor person who buys the 111 has paid twice the amount that you have paid.
Exactly.
Just ensure that you're storing well and you're looking for expiry
Right,
dates.
exactly.
Well done.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go to the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to start with the Punch. 2015, PDP panel grills Atiku, Saraki, Makarfi, others on Thursday. party searches for Buhari's match in the north. Picture here, CGN bars judges from granting interim orders in political cases. Boko Haram kills nurse, threatens to murder Leah Sharibu. FG declares flooding as national disaster in 4 states. Offer robberies, court summons Saraki over fresh criminal complaint. Adeosun's resignation, Ahmed resumes at Finance Ministry. Ambode alludes to Tinubu's power at Jim Obia's book launch. Panic in Abuja as military fighter jets fly over houses. And Oyo State seals off 12 banks in Ibadan.
So many stories.
So many stories.
Go ahead with the human interest.
Okay, I want to take that in the sun.
Okay, but let's take the Leah Sharibu.
Okay. So, yes, that's the human interest. I wanted to take in the sun before, but it's okay. So, the Boko Haram killed one of the people they abducted in March. Women, nurses and midwives, one of them. Her name is Kosha. And she was killed. She was wearing a white... Executed, wearing a white hijab and was shot from behind. So they are saying, according to the cable who carried the story, that they had spoken to, they have written and sent messages to the government that they wanted a response. They had people... They got no response from the government. So they are giving the government till 2nd of October.
That's where we are.
Or they will kill the remaining 3, including Leah Sharibu.
That's the story.
So now, Leah Sharibu has been, she was the one left out of the Dapchi girls. And Boko Haram in this story said they have been trying to reach out to the government. They want ransom, obviously.
Yes, of course.
The fact is that one thing is clear. The government has stopped negotiations. Right. That's what bothered me. This young girl is now alone. You know, when you're in group, it's easier to deal with the torture she'll be going through. But alone, that alone is another punishment on a higher level. And negotiations shouldn't have ended or stopped in any way. While all this politicking for 2019 is happening under our watch. Okay, there's money, someone should negotiate with them. I don't mind them paying. They should just get that girl home safe.
Not only the girl, we have 2 other ladies.
May I say that people have kept on saying that ransoms are paid all over the world, you know, for things like this. But then again, as far as you do it, there is no guarantee that they don't kidnap again and we keep on funding them. Because at the end of the day, if you pay for the Dapchi girls and they're now holding somebody.
So are you saying
we have to move on? Unfortunately, it's not our hot topic today. Let's move on to the next paper.
Allow this happen in the first
The Nation. National Assembly set to rework Electoral Act bill. Dignitaries honor Jim Ovia as he rewrites Africa's story. How I raised $1 million to free my brother from Evans. Offer IGP direct service on Saraki and security scare at Ekiti Governorship Tribunal. This National Assembly set to rework the electoral bill. Remember, our president had issues, citing drafting issues with saying that it was likely to affect the interpretation and application of the Principal Act.
Exactly. So the
and that's why he vetoed.
That's the Senate Committee on Election and the House of Reps Committee on Election have come back to look at this act again, hoping to do any corrections that
reform it and then send it back so that we can have it signed quickly
before elections, because that's the idea.
I wanted to take the $1 million naira ransom.
$1 million?
Dollar. Sorry, disrespect. Ransom. So some gang members who were allies of Evans who were arrested in 2013 were finally convicted yesterday. So they've been convicted to 82
years.
So both of them, 82 years in prison for armed robbery and kidnapping.
Yes.
And you see a photo of one of them with his hands on his head. But the key witness was saying that he was forced to raise that amount of money, which is $1 million, as ransom for his family member who was kidnapped from them.
Should we quickly
go
to the follow-up on the offer robbery?
Yeah, very quickly.
Yes. So an Abuja-based lawyer and rights activist had, filed a complaint against the Senate President Saraki. He did that at the Grade 1 area court in Abuja, and the court has ordered the IGP to summon Senate President to come and answer to the offer robbery.
You're going to answer questions
I don't understand.
Let's move on to Vanguard. Ambode's campaign skills down as governor eyes Osun for Sukkot. Ambode at book launch asks, who am I to speak when Jagaban has spoken?
That's it.
Aspirants fault PH venue, Bodaka venue, prefer Lagos Delta Akwa, but that's the PDP presidential primaries. Let's see. One night stand claims. Mr. Ibu breaks silence. Says, I never had anything with the lady. I'll teach you how to defeat Tinubu in Lagos, Saraki tells PDP. Roadmap of a nation 20 years on by Wole Soyinka. Boko Haram kills health worker abducted in Borno, threatens Leah Sharibu. David Mark, 2019, and Saraki split North Central and National Assembly. Restructuring is Yoruba agenda, championed by uninformed Igbo, say Yakasai. And finally, my sack, blessed in disguise, says Babashiola XS.
Telling us how he makes 500 million naira monthly. Oh my God.
Okay, let's talk about Ambode's...
So, Ambode's...
governor
what's it called? It's campaign group, the one that is the main group, were saying that, you know, they've stemmed down all their campaign because it seems to be peace in their camp. They are not really doing so much anymore. But they are saying, no, they are waiting for the major rally happening in Osun tomorrow to start again, so they've just.
I thought you wanted to even talk about him talking at
Jimovia's
lunch. Africa, right?
He was standing with his governor colleagues. Something else said, Ross.
Ne move.
He quickly ran to go and stand with Jagaban. So I watched him while he was doing his speech, and I felt that his speech was it inspired or was confidence in the business environment in Nigeria. No. Governor Ambode's speech. Right. You know, saying how Jimovia came into the business they're in when it wasn't such a good one, and he has stayed through, and that he's a mentor to lots of people. He called him Uncle Jimovia. I said, our governor is humble.
Uncle Jim.
Anyways, well, before his speech, Senator...
No, but you have to know that Governor Ambode actually respects Jimovia because he has been very, very supportive of this government.
I was shocked. I did not know.
Everybody right
during
now.
the Business Economic Summit, I think Jimovia was one of the major financiers I think the,
it was my first time of
security in Lagos State. So he's been very, very helpful. So he deserves Uncle.
Please, I wanted to quote him, verbatim.
Okay.
Where he was saying, when they called him after ex-governor Tinubu to, you know, make his speech. And I like the part that they called Folorunsho Alakija after him. Anyway, when he got there, said, that he didn't prepare to say anything, and that who am I to speak after Jagaban has spoken.
Moving on to New Telegraph. APC rakes in 3.8 billion from the Guba aspirants. Only Guba aspirants, though, not even the Shekere.
To get Leah Sharibu.
All right. 2019, judges barred from granting ex parte orders. Daily aspirin may raise risk of serious bleeding. Weeds, empty containers take over export terminal. Let's talk about the judges for a second. Nima, you have that story.
The chief judge of the Federal High Court was in Abuja yesterday. He gave a directive that all judges must cease from this moment to give interim ex parte orders. That's orders given without notice to the other party.
Yes.
In political matters, it's a kind of delay tactics that lawyers use while, you know, trying to establish, you know your case, but you delay.
Yes.
And you try to get interim orders in between a trial. So put all cases, all matters on notice and all interim orders on notice.
Fantastic. That's a good thing.
Are we taking the health story?
Let's move on to Daily Sun because we've not taken enough papers. Daily Sun, Boko Haram to federal government, pay us or we'll kill Leah Sharibu. We took that already. Buhari, Tinubu, Ambode, others law Jimovia at book launch. Banks to pay fine for money transfer delay. National Assembly moves to rework electoral bill, and flooding. NEMA places 12 states on watch list. The other people had 4 states, but here it's 12 states. I think it was Niger, Anambra, I can't remember the other states.
All the states are
Delta, Kogi, Niger, and others. Yes. Okay, let's talk about the money transfer delay.
Yes, so the Central Bank of Nigeria has put a penalty of 10,000 naira on any bank that does not carry out that transfer in less than 4 minutes. Instant transfer, 4 minutes. They pay 10,000 naira fine.
What if it's network issue?
Hold on. Then if there's a failure, if there's a failure of the transfer, the reversal, and the customer complaints, they pay them another 10,000. They are fined another 10,000 naira.
No. The second fine within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours.
Yes.
And the customer complains. So
yes.
Is this CBN talking?
Yes.
Now, CBN will now be fining those banks
that don't pay. Hold your money for
put your
2
ATM
days
in a bank. The thing did not pay you.
Alaja,
They will debit you.
Morayo
You will now go and write letter in the branch.
Morayo has asked a very pertinent question. What if it is network failure?
Hey, that's the business of the bank.
Of the bank.
They are the business providers.
Yeah,
they should
so
provide.
true.
And
4
they should make it conducive.
This is
I
the kind
want
of
to wait 4
pronouncements they
days
make,
to get my reversal.
And everybody gets talking, but you know, it's not well founded. We don't even
We
know.
like it,
but
but
there are
so
some
for
things,
them,
because I
for
don't
them to make
understand.
that statement, I think
Don't worry,
things
after
are
the show.
Explain
happening.
later.
Because
After the show, I will
money
explain.
gets
Because
missing.
Overfounded.
These
We
are
should make it hot topic tomorrow.
haphazard
get
network
an
situations.
expert.
Anyway, let's go on a break. How do you prove it? Anyway, let's go on a break. when we come back, we discuss the other trending issue of the weekend, the Bichi appointment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Your View. Thanks for staying with us. So recently, President Muhammadu Buhari approved the appointment of Yusuf Magaji Bichi as a new DG of the DSS after removing the acting Director General of the DSS and Matthew Seyefa. However, this has generated lots and lots of controversies among Nigerians. Can this be used as a yardstick to assess President Muhammadu Buhari's achievements on security in Nigeria? What are your thoughts? To give us your view, call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. We'd like to hear your views on this. People have been talking about this since last week. I think he was appointed on the 13th. And since then, on Thursday, and since then, everybody's talking about it. And people had different perspectives. Some people are saying, listen, wow, I think it was Elijah Mohammed.
On a TV station, yeah.
Yes, on TV, was saying that, listen, wow, we've been honestly critical about these issues of appointment, that it's not really the focus. There are other things we should look into and we should focus on. Anyways, now others now said, if we look at all the other DGs from Obasanjo's period to now, they've all been South-South.
Thank you.
So what was the hullabaloo? So in your view, what are your thoughts? What did you make of this appointment? Did you really think it was an opportunistic approach, or he was just doing what he thought was in the best interest of the country?
Before I go to my opinion, let's drop facts.
Okay.
16 out of 17 service chiefs are from the north. And we're not talking about the 6th geopolitical zone, because they say that most times when we're talking about north, we talk about it like it's just one zone or one state. Yeah. So there are 3 zones there. We have 3 zones in the south. 16 out of 17 service chiefs are from the north. Now, to pick Bichi, he had resigned after 35 years of service in the DSS 6 months ago, right? Seyefa, who was appointed by the Vice President Oshibajo, had 6 other people below him, if you did not want to go to Seyefa. But because they were all from the south, it seemed like going to recall Bichi from retirement was just plainly because he was from the north.
Okay.
It seems like, right?
Are you done?
Okay, yeah.
So for me, I think as a people, we need to move away from a tribalistic, point of view to a system that allows the qualified to come on board. Now, if Yusuf Bichi wasn't qualified, I would understand and I would feel terrible. But he is qualified, he is experienced, so every other factor, though important, it's not really necessary at the moment. Okay. I also want to say that let's not forget that the president has the right, as provided by the Constitution, to pick whomever he or she, okay, president, a man, he wants to work with him. Is his team, so he can't pick it. When Obasanjo was there, it was a Southerner that he picked as the DG. When Jonathan was there, it was a Southerner. So why do we expect Buhari to pick a Southerner as well? Let's also remember, because a lot of controversies have come up, that conspiracy theories that is nepotistic and that he did not obey the federal character principle. In other ministries, he has obeyed that federal character principle. He cannot obey it in isolation because this is only one position for one person.
All right, let me come to Nima.
May I correct something quickly? I'm just still dropping facts, too. I've not said my opinion.
All right.
When you said in other appointments, when Kayode Fayemi resigned to go to Ekiti, he was replaced by a northerner. You have, let's even say that Daura was from the north, you replaced him with a northerner. Kemi Adeosun. You jumped the Minister of Budget and Planning, Ali Ndume, to go to Zainab Ahmed, who was Minister of State.
Okay.
Facts. So you are replacing people who are either sacked or resigned. Sorry.
Minister of Finance, yes.
So acting. Yes, now. So Seifa was also acting, and people expected, because he was next in line to have been confirmed.
Take over the position.
Facts. Okay, Madam, I will come to my opinion later.
Let me quickly just say that Bichi is not the only qualified within the DSS cadre person to head the DSS. But the sentiments with which that kind of security, the sensitivity of that position is filled, is what we should talk about. Now, the DSS, whoever heads the DSS, is also in charge of the security detail of the president. Yes. It has to be a trusted, known person. That's all. That's the basis. Okay. And because of that, it is not actionable whether the president follows federal character in that particular instance. It is not an actionable issue. It's based on his discretion, and it is who he decides, based on his discretion, that he picks. Fine, arrest the case. Move on to other issues.
Okay. So this same president appointed dead people to boards. Now we're appointing somebody from retirement to a very sensitive position. The fact that Bichi had been out of service for months. You left the people who are within service because you are looking for somebody who is trusted. Guess what? If 8 out of 17 service chiefs were Southerners, I don't think anybody would have frowned at this. From the beginning, in 2015, it seemed like, if not because of federal character, the president's ministers, all of them would have come from the north.
But if we look at the ministers,
it does not help our unity. Why do I say this? Let me tell you why. We remember his speech at an international interview.
Let's be fair.
Where he said 97 against 5%. It seems like that is what is playing out.
But if you listen, hang in there for a second. If you list all your ministers today, are they all Northerners? No, they're not.
I mentioned that already. Hold on. I mentioned that already now.
Let me let Nima jump in and then I'll come back to you. Yes, Nima, go ahead, please.
He who is without sin should cast the first stone.
Thank you.
I remember when my father was lecturing me about the new head of the DPR at the time. When Obasanjo was president, he went into Old Boys Association.
Thank you.
And Pete Kupolunyi, who had been, I think, dismissed or retired, and brought him to head the DPR because of what? There was no qualified person within the DPR level.
They want somebody they can trust.
It is not today that, presidents have done things that are based on their discretion, using that discretion to favor themselves.
You see, this argument just even annoys me. Because the reason we voted Jonathan out, and I remember criticizing him every day, because some of the things that the former presidents did that we criticized, the current president is doing, and you people are now
referring out. She kept saying discretion in this situation.
What is right? What is wrong? Can we have a standard? And then when we have a standard, let us judge everyone against that standard, not because somebody did wrong and then everybody else should do wrong.
On this issue, the president is responsible for the failure or the success of the nation. And so if he feels that I'm more comfortable in working with these sets of people, let him be. The question we'll be asking is the job being done? Is the person qualified? Can the person deliver?
He chose Daura. Did Daura do the work? He chose Babachir Lawal. Did Babachir Lawal do the work? Bena was reinstated. I'm saying if you are saying that he has the rights as far as they're doing the work. So somebody retired after 35 years. When are the young people in Nigeria ever going to get a chance?
That's a different issue. We're joining.
Is it that Seifa is not qualified? Please, can you answer on this couch? Is Seifa qualified to do the job?
I think you're missing the point, Jumake. Everybody here has agreed that Seifa completely, totally qualified for the job. Because it's such a sensitive position.
Thank you.
As the president, the commander-in-chief
has the discretion.
So let me let Nima jump in and come again. Yes.
Jumake, that just before Seifa's removal, he had tried to rearrange certain things within the DSS, and he was stopped immediately.
Yeah, immediately, yes.
Anything that can put the president's security or the security of this country in jeopardy. These people, they have the way they work. This is security. It's not about us discussing. Now, let me explain. There are two questions about what is right. Not everything that is morally right is legal.
Lawyer,
let's go back to Obasanjo's time. Was it not Kayode Are from his own, from the south?
Yes.
Same thing back
So if Oshibajo, hold on. If Oshibajo becomes president in 2019, will the North allow that all the 17 chiefs are from the south? Hold on. Please, hold on.
When that time comes,
nobody will ever allow it. The Northerners will never agree to it. Never. I said never.
Don't say that. That's you generalizing. That's you generalizing,
Jumoke. If you are in United Nigeria,
you are generalizing on that.
As far as Seyefa is qualified to do the job, they should have confirmed him. He should have been confirmed.
If he becomes president tomorrow and decides that his security chiefs should come from the south, the North don't agree. They will make the same noise we're making here.
Yes,
and things to go as planned. Because what is important is security.
How does that unite us?
When we come back, we'll have a security expert to help us clarify this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have a security expert who's also the Executive Secretary, Save Humanity Advocacy Center, Comrade Ibrahim Abubakar. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome, sir.
You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Sir, my first question to you is that in this climate, in this part of the world, it seems as though that security officials and personnel are appointed more for regime sustenance rather than state survival. So it's more like, it's about, listen, I need people who I trust, who can help ensure that this regime is properly sustained, who I know that can provide security for me. Not so much about the state. Now, that's what people are reading in this appointment. Do you think, as Nima had said earlier, it is our president's discretion to choose, and do we have a right or to question, to say what he did was wrong and he should have actually retained CFA?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, we need to understand issues of security is of a national interest.
Okay.
And it's not something that you have to say, okay, it has to be federal character. It's the sole prerogative of the president. But now, if you look at the issue, Sefa is retiring soon. And he was also consulted before Bichi was appointed. Now, what the president did is, okay, now we're having a situation where a lot of our security personnel at times are kind of political. And the main reason why the president went for Bichi was because he's not political. Compared to, and so the people that are there, they are just ranting on Twitter, not knowing, how this is. Okay, if you want to appoint a new chief judge, for instance, of course, you have to go through the ranks. Yes. It's different. No, it has nothing. So the ranks even during Jonathan, he skipped people that were senior in the listen. So he did all of that. You understand? In the military. So it has this. There is nothing. In fact, there is no reason why we should be discussing this now. When we look at when we had the St. Teresa's bomb blast, the Christmas Day bomb blast. Who was the service chief then? It was a southerner.
Yes.
Who was the president?
It was a southerner.
The October 1st bomb blast in 2010.
Yes.
Who was the president?
Southerner.
Then who was the service chief? A southerner. The Yanya bomb blast. So what I think Nigerians should be concerned about is, do we have a safe environment?
Yes.
Okay. That's the most important thing. Because
so yes or no?
Excuse me. Because when you are bothered about, oh, it has to be my tribe, you'll be wasting your time.
Is Nigeria safe, sir? Yes or no?
It is safe now compared to what we had, you understand, at least between 2011 to 2015. I went to Goza last week. Now, Goza is actually a place in Borno, is a local government in Borno State, which going from Maiduguri, you go through Konduga, you go to Bama, Puka, before you get to Goza. Now, we need to understand the complexity of this place. Goza is a place that shares, it holds the Nigeria boundary, first of all. It holds that of ECOWAS.
Yes.
So it's complex. Now, we had this arrangement where we had this multinational joint task force, which a lot of them are not doing enough
On their side.
on their side.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So it was reported on Monday, on September 3rd, to be precise, that Seifa was under attack because he had some postings. He had to change things around when he got in. He tried to. No, he actually changed it because he sacked, he redeployed 2 officers. So he was under attack. The chief of staff of the president was scolded him on that. Could it be one of the reasons that he was being removed? Like, you are coming in right now, you're not loyal, you're already moving things and changing things around. Could it be one of the reasons he was sacked?
Yeah, what you are saying is more of hearsay. Has it been verified? That's the question. In fact, Seifa was even contacted, and he gave his word, and he was among the people who recommended Bichi at the end of the day. So a lot of people don't even understand, the internal processes of all of this.
I have a conspiracy theory that, Bichi retired just 6 months ago. Bichi might be the next in line if Daura retired before him, if not for the removal. Is that why he felt, okay, closest and next in rank who retired? Is that why he was a convenient candidate for the president? If he was still in service, he would be older in service than Seifa.
Look, it has no, the security systems and intelligence gathering has nothing to do with your retirement. You can be pulled up anytime. And even when you are not, in the public eyes, most times there are a lot that they still do underground that people are not aware of. That's the way the security system works.
Right.
So,
I know we have some tweets.
Okay,
let's take a few tweets so that we can get
I
some
also have a question that, the president choosing the DSS and being very selective about it. I initially said it was a sensitive choice he had to make. Help me understand the role of the head of the DSS as against the security of the personal detail of the president now around him. What's the role? How important is the person who heads that to the position of the security of the president?
You are concerned about the role to the president or the nation?
We have the IG who is also in charge of police. Is that person allowed to prepare or organize the security of the president, or it has to be the DSS? How important is whoever sits at the head of the DSS? How important is that person to the detail around the president daily on the security movement and everything?
Now, the president gets intelligence gathering for at least about 7 minutes on a daily basis from the DSS, which is coordinated by the DG. You understand? And this has nothing to do with just internal, both internal and international. But basically, it has to do with our internal security. So why it's important for you to have a trusted person and a competent person there is because of how sensitive it is. Now, you recall when the National Assembly was blocked, that led to the Rasak.
Yes.
Now, there were talks from some quarters that, he did this, he did that, and he was trying to sabotage, you understand? So it's very important. You have somebody that you can say, okay, with this person that won't trample on the rights of the citizens.
Okay. And conspire with your enemies.
Exactly. So the most important thing is Bichi qualified? He has worked across north and the north and south.
Let me hold you for a second, sir. Let me take the call from Majawa Estate. Morning, are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I will like to say I'll go with Jumoke this morning. Okay. Because it's a precedence in this country. Look at the custom boss. What's the place of junior officer getting promotion? You set your mind that, okay, when I get a certain year in service, I'll get a promotion. This bringing of both people back to service, are they now saying the people still at service can't do the work? Remember the chairman of the FCC putting the re-election badge of Mr. President, anti-corruption chief. The same custom boss is leading a campaign organization for the president of the country. All these things sum up to personal gain, not national interest or talking of is comfortable with someone. He's comfortable with Daura. that comes from his own village and still they sack him because of incompetence. So what's the place of Sefa that, okay, you are not okay with Sefa, you are okay with this Bishi. This thing will happen again. All because Dara was asked to go in. He was not playing the ball of the cabals.
Thank you very much for your comments.
So I have a couple of
tweets.
tweets here.
Please.
So Mr. Adebayo says, we can't be crying foul where there is nothing. He says, Jumoke should be careful here. I don't want to read the rest. So he says, the question is, are they getting the job done? The answer is a resounding no. Buhari's 16, 17 security chiefs are a resounding failure. Ask the people of Benue, Zamfara, Borno. Flip through any paper from you and there you see.
You agree with that?
You know, excuse me, okay. When you talk about total failure, November 2014, I remember my time in Medjugorje then, you understand? Where I went to last week, I wasn't able to go there. Most of the people there, they were all in Medjugorje.
There's a question for you on Twitter for this one.
No problem. Wait, hold on. Okay. Now, when you say it's a resounding no, people are just there and they're listening to what people say on the media. Yes. They are not on ground. A couple of times we've been advocating for this issue of fake news. From Poker, the security arrangement from there is once you come to Poker, you're going to go, everybody waits. Then the commanding officer there, they have a command there. They send gun trucks and everything. It takes people to the place where you get the same thing when you are coming back. So like the issue where there was an attack, what was the reason for this attack? And where did it happen? Now, if you are going, you have Sambisa to the right, and that Mandara and mountain and Lake Chad to the left. So these guys, they came out. Why? Because they were hungry. They were attacking farmers, people that had gone to farm. So what does that tell you? It tells you that whatever tactics that the military is using is working. Because if you look at the nature of the place, this guy is actually in caves. And all over, how do you handle this? You try to starve them.
Okay.
Sir, just a minute. Okay. So there's a question on Twitter. I'd like to know, because you've just given an account of how Borno is now. Yeah. Someone is asking, Prince Music says, please, Jumoke, ask your guest the last time he was in Jos to know if Nigeria is safe, because it seems he speaks because he's in Lagos. Have you visited Jos recently? And Benue? These are areas where the Fulani heads mine attack is serious. Background. What's the account of security?
Thank you very much. If you look at who were the suspects that were arrested in Benue?
Tell us.
There are people from Benue State, for goodness sake. Yes, there are some form of attacks taking place by criminal elements. But until when we start calling criminals for who they are, we should stop attaching this about this ethnic group or that ethnic group. We had similar issue in the Niger Delta. When the so-called Niger Delta activism, it was hijacked. So until then, later we started differentiating this. So we have those that were arrested. When Governor Otom, he went to recruit people. But these same Fulanis that they are talking about have been living with these people for years. Right. So no problem. So what the question is, what went wrong? Okay. So you recruited people to say, okay, you want to start the same thing. Governor Yeso Wike of Rivers State, he have started about this issue of neighborhood watch. They should allow the police to do their job.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls and tweets. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have loads and loads of tweets. Yes, Nima, go ahead.
Chooks is saying, I don't agree it's about trust. He can't tell us there are no qualified trusted persons in all services. PFB is nepotistic and we don't have a safe environment. Dami Wealth says, Auntie Jumi, take it easy. DSS is a sensitive position. On the failed DGs, if you don't buy lies, you might get the chance to buy truth. Nigeria's problem.
Let's not take tweets that call names or insults anybody, please.
Okay, Dr. Nelson is asking, is your guess correct on this? Did he just say that Nigeria is safe right now? And Peter Ude says, your analysis is not right. The appointment is pure sentiments over professionalism.
Hart Bankard says, please tell your guest to stop exposing his lack of travel. How about Fulani caught here in Jos? What's his defense? Let's not play politics with human lives. Adko says, your guest is not watching journalist hangouts about arrests made in Benue and Jos. Please tell your guest to be watching journalist hangouts. Nath said, I remember your guest now. He's a member of the APC. He has an axe to grind with the Benue state government. June 12th says, what a very dishonest panel you have today. Chuk says, your guest response about Benue and Plateau just showed his bias.
Let's attack our guest right now. Jumoke, let's be
Dr. Kike says, I agree with Jumoke. Stop comparing the wrongdoing of the past leaders as a justification for Buhari's lopsided cabinet. I Weep for Nigeria says, please, are we saying it's a norm that bringing back someone who is retired to head an organization that he left? He talks about the guest again.
Okay, yes. So I have tweets here, but I have a question. The president, promised us when he was coming in that this Boko Haram issue, that we will say drove the other, the former president Jonathan out, that he will handle it in a twinkle of an eye. Until today, we still have the issues. Now, this girl, Leah Sharibu, they have threatened down that if the government does not answer the insurgents, they will kill her and the other 2 women. They've killed 1 already. Every day we hear news, we read news here about Fulani herdsmen or herdsmen, insurgents, bandits coming into the nation to kill people in thousands. Homes are being lost, lives are being lost, and nothing is happening. With this new DSS Oga, boss right now, is the president guaranteeing us that our security issues will be curbed? Is that what we should expect?
I want you to also explain, when you say nothing is happening, is it that nothing has happened at all, no arrests have been made, or you're just saying nothing totally has been happening? According to your question, go ahead.
In connection
on the issue of
to
security.
What's the state right now?
We were actually in Save Humanity. We held a press conference about almost 2 weeks ago. And what was our concern? Our concern was the issue of the multinational joint task force. Because where most of these things are coming from, they are coming from our borders. And from where? Towards the Mandara Mountain, which we expect those other countries to be working on. That was the agreement, but they are not doing enough. So along the line, if you up to like Kondogada, they've always tried to break through over this, that they've not been able, there have been several attacks, but they've not been able to break through. You can see that all the lines before, all those areas have been cleared. So what will you do if it's on another soil? You still have those arms coming in. So it's an international angle that we know that needs to be tackled.
Yes. Okay, so it's not just the government.
No, it's not. It's not just the Nigerian issue.
The reason of our conversation initially was the appointment of Bichi. I'd like us to go there because it's election season. It's election season, and obviously it's important for each regime to feel like, listen, I have the security apparatus who are going to be faithful and going to ensure that at least there's peace in the land during election period. Do you think that Bichi's appointment is going to help us to get a successful, peaceful election throughout the nation, especially because of how heated the politics is? We have fake news issues going out there. We have, what's the other phrase that goes around now? Hate speech issues going around that. So do you think he has enough experience and ability to ensure security during this period?
Bichi's time in Kano and Jigawa, Niger and Abia was very successful. Everybody that worked with him said he was a very good officer and he did a good job, which was what led to him being appointed. So in fact, I see no...
the position Jumoke had and others on Twitter saying that, yes, he's qualified. Yes, CFI is also qualified to do the same job. But why is it that or why do we feel that it was necessary to bring him back from retirement when we see a qualified hand in CFI? That's really the question.
It's the sole prerogative of the president to appoint whoever he wants to appoint. Yes. So the issue
we must respect the president's discretion.
Yes, the only time that we may raise any question is if he's not qualified. Okay. But this year, the man is qualified. So there's no need for us to be discussing this as far as I'm concerned.
Now start questioning our president's discretion. Why do people question? Is it because they feel that there's been set, presidents have been set in different ways?
I answered that question already by saying that if we had a mix, in security chiefs, people would not have been worried so much. We've been saying the same thing since 2015.
No, this is all sentiments.
It
Now,
may be
wait,
sentiment.
but why-
Nigeria is a sentiment
See,
now.
it's just so unfortunate that we've been divided along religious and ethnic
lines, so true.
You know, because when Daura was sacked, why didn't they see it like, okay, is another northerner coming after Seifa was just there as acting? So why should it be an issue?
If Daura was actually a southerner, it would have been an issue. Why was he sacked in the
Why
first
was
place?
he
No,
sacked?
that
It would
was
have been an issue.
She resigned.
I was
She
the
didn't
first
get
person
sacked.
to say that she should resign. Okay. It's about competence, I agree. But then again, look, Nigeria is an amalgamation of 400 ethnic groups. If you continually show that you prefer one over the other, there's no way we're going to unite.
No.
On this couch keep on saying that I'm Yoruba because the Yoruba race takes care of me more than the Nigerian entity.
No.
That's how I feel.
No, Jumoke, now, the question you should be asking when it comes to appointment, like you said, talked about the ministers, is there any state that doesn't have a minister?
That's the Constitution makes it compulsory.
Wait,
I already mentioned that now.
Wait,
Okay, I'm not talking again.
That doesn't have a minister?
The Constitution makes it compulsory.
Good. Okay, so when it comes to these security chiefs, where has the president gone wrong?
So,
according to the Constitution.
where he has gone wrong
about his discretion.
is
not constitutionally
discretion
acceptable.
based on him saying 97% against 5%.
So I have
Perception.
tweets here. Mr. Adebayo says, we have allowed some people to fragment us along religion, ethnic and other lines. Security is a serious affair that needs all our efforts. It should not be politicized. We can say something when it's not working. So Thomas says, I totally agree with what Jumoke is saying. President Buhari has clearly shown nepotism and it cannot be overlooked. If he wanted a trusted person as a DG, DSS, does the finance ministry also need that kind of trust that only comes from his kinsmen?
Okay, we have to round up. You want to say something?
Now, I was going to talk about the sensitivity of this appointment. So, as much as the president must consider his own sensitivities, can he, as the father of the nation, consider the sensitivities of every ethnic group and people that he governs?
You know, so like somebody just treated here, that the issue of security is a very sensitive issue. You cannot, because of the sentiments of others or how people feel, and you start, no, it's when you start that way, then you're getting it wrong. At that point, I don't think you'll be a good leader.
Okay. All right. So unfortunately, that's all we can take. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Coming on the show. That's all we can take on the show today. Join us tomorrow for our live audience show, which please come early so that you can actually get a seat. And it's important to remind you that every comment spoken here is not an opinion of TVC. It's just an opinion of our guest. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.